It took me 3 years to finally admit that I was an alcoholic because I was a very high-functioning alcoholic. Most people didn't even know. I was plowed all the time. And, um, and so that's not what an alcoholic is. An alcoholic is somebody who's lost all their money and they're, a wino in the streets. That's not what an alcoholic is. But and every day I would get up and I'd look at myself in the mirror and I would say, "You're pathetic. You said this time yesterday that you wouldn't drink today. And what did you do?" I know. I go, "Not today, not today." Sometime in the day, I found a very reasonable excuse to start drinking and doing drugs. So I did. Next day, say the same thing in the mirror. It got so bad that I couldn't look at myself in the mirror anymore. Every time I would go into the bathroom, any place, if there was a mirror, I either didn't use the sink or I opened the mirror so I couldn't see myself. My daughter came down. My 2 daughters had breakfast with me, and I was having blackouts. It's not, in the movies, they make that funny and charming. "Oh, did we do that?" No, it's not funny and charming. Your body is on autopilot and shut everything else down or it's going to die. You know what I mean? And so I was having blackouts, which will freak you out. And my kids came down for breakfast one morning and they were sitting there and they said, "Dad, tell us the story of Inky, Blinky, and Stinky again." And that was a story of 3 little mice that go to the island of cheese that I just made up every night. And I realized not only could I not remember the story, I don't remember even putting them to bed. I don't remember being with them at all. And I sat there in such shame. And I thought, what are you doing? And I lied to my kids and I said, "I remember the story, but do you remember the story?" And as I fought back the tears over breakfast as they were telling me the story, all I'm thinking is, you got to stop. And so I went to AA, and I was in the basement of this church in Connecticut. I lived in a nice neighborhood, and none of the people looked like alcoholics. They're all successful looking. There was this old lady that was sitting right in front of me. She had a sweater set and pearls. You know who Selma Diamond is?
No.
Okay, she was a great comedy writer in television years ago and early radio. But she was hysterical. And you remember Night Court?
Yes.
Okay, she was the bailiff.
Okay.
Remember the woman that talked like this? That woman sounded like Selma Diamond, okay? And she's this beautiful old woman in a sweater set and pearls. And I stand up and I said, "Hi, my name is Glenn. And I don't know if I'm an alcoholic." And everybody kind of laughed. And somebody said, why do you feel that way? I mean, you're here. Pretty good indication. And I said, "Well, because you don't look like alcoholics." Without even turning around, she said, "Oh, honey, we are all drunks in this room." That one comment gave me permission that you can still be out of control in your life and not be in the gutter.